In this session, we're going to talk about how to navigate your way around a Joomla website. There are basically two places you want to go when you're looking at your Joomla site. This is the front end, of course. When you set up a new site and you install the sample data, this is the interface you'll get, with some basic information about Joomla that you can actually use to learn a little bit more. Especially, for instance, someone who's new to Joomla. There's some great little articles here that'll help you understand some of the terminology and background information. So this is what we call the front end, or the public side. The administrative interface for your website is always found at yourwebsite.com/administrator. Your website being whatever your URL is, of course. And this is the login screen. You'll see your website title in the top bar here, and all you have to do is put in a username and password. If you stored your password in your browser, it'll usually pop up. If you're on a public computer, that's not the smartest thing to do. I would encourage you to never save passwords. But if you're on your own computer, working in your office or at home, you're good to go. Click Login, and the first thing we see is the control panel. Now this is the standard Joomla administrative interface. There are some enhanced ones out there, and you can do some searches in the extension directory for some of those. These icons give you control over the main areas of your website: global configuration, user manager, language manager, menu manager, etc. And you can see by clicking on any of those, it will take you to the interface that you're looking for. There's some helpful information over here on the right about security announcements. We're going to talk about security in session 48. I really encourage you to sign up and get the security announcements from Joomla. It will help you make sure your website's up to date. There's some good information here about security, about learning Joomla. The Absolute Beginner's Guide to Joomla is found on the Joomla website, and it's helpful as well. You can see who the logged in users are, what the most popular articles are, recently added articles, menu statistics, and the security news feed. We're going to look at the menus across the top in the next session, but just quickly, these give you access to every area of the interface. The help menu gives you some basic help for Joomla 1.5, and you can see all of the articles listed over here. This is actually greatly enhanced since 1.5 came out, and I encourage you to make sure you take a look at this. It's more helpful than it's ever been before. If you're just in the administrative interface and you want to get a quick preview of your site, you can click there. It'll open it up in a new window or a new tab depending on your browser. This tells you how many private messages you have, how many people are logged in, and of course, logging out. Again, if you're on a public computer, strongly encourage you to log out each time you're done. If you're on your own private computer, this isn't always necessary. However, logging out of any secure site is a good practice you should probably get into. So this is the area that controls all of the main features of your site. One thing I would highlight is that if you're just editing articles, you don't actually need to log into your administrative interface to edit an article. If I log in here on the front end, you'll notice that there's a new icon that gives me the ability to edit an article right from the front end of my site. If I click on that, it brings up the editing interface with all of the options that are available, and we'll talk about these as we go through. But it is nice to be able to edit from the front end. This way, it's especially helpful if you have other people editing content on your site, but you don't want to give them administrator access. You can make them an editor, publisher, or manager, and they'll have access to the articles on the site from the front end without ever going in to the back end. So that's pretty much it. Navigating your way around Joomla is like any other web page. Articles are to read, and a great administrative interface that's actually pretty easy to learn. And that's what we'll be doing next.